acquiring a lot of the things because we ordered them from India, that took a long time. And there have been many times where we'd order a mandir and it just got lost in transit. I still don't know where one of the mandirs has gone. So having to reorder those. And I think less than all of the sort of speaking to student union and getting in touch with the university, that was easier than actually setting up the room. There was a lot more hurdles involved with sourcing things for the room. And last Saturday, we had our inauguration. We had a Panditji come over, did a very simple small puja. We had we had a good amount of bhajans, and usually it's me that sings them, and everyone takes a step back. But I was really glad that the students actually stepped forward and sang, and that was really heartwarming to see because people actually enjoyed the room and were very excited to use it for its purpose. So we did a few bhajans, we did Hanuman Chalisa, and after that, we had a presentation by the Panditji on why exactly we should worship and what the purpose of this room should be. We had some representatives from an organization called Jet UK who were speaking to us about that very educational side of what Hinduism actually is, right? And about not just reading our scriptures, but actually trying to understand the meaning behind them and all of the moral lessons that they can teach us. And after that, we concluded with what everyone was waiting for, which was pujan. We had a very nice meal. And yeah, that's a very, very simplified process on how we managed to get the room. But to start with, for anyone that's trying to do this at your own universities, it's to establish that strong relationship with the student union. And if you can find a specific person who has some sort of authority within the student union, that makes your job so much easier. And I was fortunate to have that. So yeah. So both my parents work full time and they have pretty hectic jobs as well. And I think ranting to them helped me sort of ground myself and realize, like, okay, take a step back. It's really not that deep. Like, as big as these problems seemed at the time, in the grand scheme of things, even in the whole sort of build up to the prayer room, it was just negligible because our cause of operating like this, our motive was such a genuine cause. And it's stuff like this. It's when you're trying to plan things like this, that's when you find the most sort of hurdles, is what I've experienced. For example, if people are trying to do a social night out or something, it's very easy. Everyone wants to go out, everyone wants to have a good time. And it's stuff like this where there is less interest and we have to spur interest. That's when the problems arise. And my parents, aside from supporting the cause financially, they also, every time I'd have a problem, I'd run to my mom and she'd be like, okay, I know that you're stressed about this, but it's really not that deep. And they put everything into perspective. And I think that really helped. And even at our inauguration, we had quite a few of the aunties and uncles from my community back home. And I think it was really reassuring that a lot of students said this. They said, and the room is for the students of the university, but it's really nice to see that our efforts are being appreciated by the actual Samaj. And I think the biggest help that my parents did was just keeping me focused and, helping me realize that such things like this will happen so many times in life, regardless of what you're doing. So it's just about staying grounded and focusing on the goal, I guess. Me and my parents, we went on a Kashi Yatra. So we went to Varanasi last year. And during that yatra, it was such an eye-opening sort of few weeks because it was so impromptu. Um, little to no planning was involved. We just hopped on a plane and found ourselves in Delhi and then found ourselves in Kashi. And then from there, we went to Prayagraj, where the Kumbh Mela just finished. We went to Ayodhya to see the new Ram Mandir. And in Kashi, I think there's, I'm not too sure. I think there's like 1,001 different Shivlings or Shiv temples within that, within the city of Varanasi. And I learned so much on that trip that you don't, it, books can only teach you so much, but if you go and experience a culture, if you go and experience the people, it was honestly one of the most peaceful places I've been. But it's not stereotypically peaceful. It's a bustling city. It's kind of, it's packed. It's got narrow streets. It's it's not, stereotypically clean, but within all that hustle and bustle, you do find yourself finding a sense of calm. And this was after we'd secured the prayer room as well. So I thought, let me bring something back from this sort of very spiritual place that changed my life completely and have it as a sort of USP, right? For to attract people to come into the room. And there was, in India, loads of places in India, you find lots of different murti shops and all of that. But I decided to go with a Shivling and a Nandiji, a Shivling and a Nandiji murti from Kashi. And that was really fun to do. That was really special to me. And on Shivratri, that's just passed a few weeks ago, we did an Abhishekam at our house for that specific Shivling. And then we installed it a few days later into the prayer room. And it was almost like, okay, we'd got the room. I embarked on this amazing yatra, and one of the byproducts of that has been immortalized in that room. So that was really special to me. That everyone, if they weren't fortunate to go and visit Kashi themselves, they have a small piece of that in the room. And coming to the paintings, that was my grandmother who painted them all. And yeah, for her, it was really special because not many people have the opportunity to have their paintings framed in a mandir, right? And yeah, she was really happy. And it's all those small personal touches that made the process so enjoyable for me. I didn't really feel like it was much of a chore, um, because I was like, oh, we can do this. Oh, we can do that. And because of the way I am, we're still looking at um, how to expand the room, how to make it even better. So there's a few surprises that should arrive soon enough for the room, and I'm sure that we can share all the progress with you guys very frequently. I would just I would just like to say that regardless of what university you're from, or you know, however big or small your Hindu society is, I would encourage people to use the whole ecosystem we have. Because NHSF has made it so easy for all the Hindu societies to connect. And if you had any questions specific to your university or anything like that, then definitely get in touch with us. And we're more than happy to help any of the universities across the country. One of my friends from London, so he helped us so much, and he was actually going to travel up from London to Lancaster just for the prayer room opening. And I think that's just a testament of the community that NHSF and us as a part of it have managed to sort of build. And I would just say that don't hesitate to get in touch with us and try and visit the room as well in Lancaster if you can.